Any living creature doesn't want to be a slave, doesn't want to be enslaved. I mean, you could take any animal and put it on a leash, especially something like a cat. They don't like it. Now, put a dog on a leash and make them work. A lot of dogs will put up with that for whatever reason, to some extent, but not to an extreme extent. And people, they don't like it at all. So you got to whip them, you got to beat them, you got to keep that chain on them to get them to do anything. And that means you got to have people there cracking the whip. It's inefficient. It's just inefficient. Because the person who's doing the work, if somebody isn't standing over them at every given point in time, ready to whip them, they ain't doing it. They just won't do it. So how do you get people to perform, let's say, for instance, manual labor that they don't want to perform? And this is so simple. It's actually so simple it's elegant. How do you get people to perform manual labor that they don't want to perform? You trick them into wanting to do it. You simply trick them into believing that they want to do it. And once they're thinking, well, this is my land, this is my house, I'm not working for somebody else, this is my farm, and I get a percentage of whatever I grow. They have an incentive. They feel free. They see a profit motive, and so they will work harder. They will work longer. They'll be happier. And I hate to say it, I mean, they do. The New World Order does look at you like you're an animal. They say, well, how can we get people to produce, to make a lot of offspring so we can contain, capture, control this land? If you look at when people first came to America, and we're talking the whites, the Europeans, whatever you want to call them, they came to America. The Indians weren't big on cutting all the trees down. They just kind of like to live with trees. But when the New World Order, or the New Order of the World came in, they said, well, we've got to make this land productive. We've got to turn all this forest land into real estate, or real estate. But we don't have the manpower to do it. How are we going to take an entire continent and cut down all the trees and make this land profitable? Our families, the control structure, and all of their families, even their cousins, we're not enough people to do this. So what did they do? And I feel bad for anybody listening right now whose home is in foreclosure. But I'm just going to tell you the raw truth. This is what I do. This is death to the New World Order. That means death to the lies, death to the deceptions, death to any illusions that you have in your mind. We were set up from the get-go. This whole thing about, oh, the land is free in Oklahoma right now, or in Colorado right now, or in Alaska right now. All you got to do is go move on to the land, and you get it for free. It was a trap all along. You were a slave before you got there. They needed you to cut down the trees, to cultivate the land, and to make it profitable. And they planned hundreds of years ago to let the people, or the sheeple, to let the sheeple sprawl out across the continent, cut down all the trees, just like a giant lawnmower in slow motion. Plant all the crops, create vibrant economies. Fully intending, before they ever gave that land away, fully intending to take it all back. And that's what's just started since 2008. 2008 was the very beginning of the collapse of private property. Why do you think you had the Kelo decision come down? Why do you think now it's okay for municipalities, for states, and for the federal government to just seize land? The Environmental Protection Agency seizing land. Oh, that's a wetland project, and we got to move you to the out of the wilderness area. It was a trap from the get-go. And people still aren't realizing this. People still aren't seeing it.